Every generation has that one car, the one that just refuses to die. Maybe it was your dad's old Toyota that reached 400,000 miles, a Mercedes that outlived 3 owners, or a battered pickup truck that somehow kept running no matter how badly it was treated. Yet today, people are replacing engines before 100,000 miles. A failed sensor can leave a perfectly good car stranded, and a repair that once cost 50 pounds can now cost thousands. So what happened? Did engineers suddenly forget how to build reliable cars? Or is there something much bigger going on behind the scenes? The truth is, modern cars aren't necessarily built to last forever. They're built to satisfy emissions regulations, pass safety tests, impress buyers with technology, and make money. As a mechanic, I've seen firsthand how a tiny plastic part can destroy an entire engine, how simple repairs have become incredibly expensive, and how complexity has become the biggest enemy of reliability. So are modern cars really built to fail? Or have we unknowingly traded reliability for something else? Let's find out. There was a time when buying a car was a long-term investment. Manufacturers competed to build vehicles that would earn a reputation for lasting decades. The longer a car stayed on the road, the stronger the brand became. Cars like the Toyota Hilux, Mercedes W123 became legends, not because they were the fastest or the most luxurious, but because they simply refused to quit. Their secret wasn't magic. It was simplicity. Naturally aspirated engines, fewer computers, metal components instead of plastic, hydraulic steering, less complicated emissions equipment, and electronics that only did the essentials. Of course, these cars weren't perfect. They were less fuel efficient, produced more emissions, and lacked many of the safety features we now take for granted. But when something did go wrong, repairs were usually straightforward and relatively affordable. Many mechanics could diagnose problems with basic tools, and owners often kept their cars on the road for hundreds of thousands of miles. So if manufacturers already knew how to build cars that lasted, why don't they anymore? To answer that, we have to look beyond the workshop and into the boardroom. For decades, car manufacturers had one goal: build a car people wanted to buy. But over time, that changed. Governments introduced stricter emissions laws. Crash safety standards became tougher. Fuel economy targets became more demanding. At the same time, customers expected more. Touchscreens, heated seats, adaptive cruise control, parking cameras, lane assist, wireless connectivity. Every new feature made cars safer, cleaner, and more comfortable, but it also made them far more complicated. To meet these new demands, manufacturers downsized engines and added turbochargers. They introduced direct fuel injection, start-stop systems, exhaust gas recirculation, diesel particulate filters, AdBlue systems, and dozens of electronic control units. On paper, these innovations were incredible. Cars became faster, more fuel efficient, and dramatically safer than the vehicles built just 20 years earlier. But every new component also became another potential point of failure. One sensor, one electric pump, one plastic coolant fitting. Sometimes that's all it takes to turn a perfectly good car into an expensive repair bill. And that's where the business starts to get interesting. Because these decisions weren't only made by engineers, they were also influenced by accountants, regulations, manufacturing costs, and shareholders. The question was no longer, how do we build the longest-lasting car? It became, how do we build the best car we can within the cost, weight, emissions, and warranty targets we've been given? That single change in priorities transformed the automotive industry forever. So, are modern cars really built to fail? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Engineers today are capable of building incredibly reliable vehicles. In many ways, modern cars are the greatest they've ever been. They're safer, cleaner, more powerful, and more efficient than almost anything that came before them. But they're also built under pressures that didn't exist decades ago. Pressure to reduce costs, pressure to meet emissions targets, pressure to add more technology, pressure to satisfy shareholders and remain competitive. The result is a car that's more advanced than ever, but also more complex than ever. And complexity comes at a price. As a mechanic, I've seen firsthand how a tiny plastic component can cause thousands of pounds in damage. I've seen perfectly good cars sidelined by a failed electronic module or a sensor no bigger than a coin. These aren't always accidents. They're often the consequence of design decisions made years before the car ever reached the showroom. Maybe modern cars aren't deliberately engineered to break, but they're no longer engineered with one goal above all else: lasting forever. Instead, they're designed to balance performance, efficiency, regulations, manufacturing costs, and profitability. Whether that's progress or planned obsolescence in a different form, I'll let you decide. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep dives into the business behind the automotive industry, consider subscribing, because sometimes the most interesting part of a car isn't under the bonnet, it's in the boardroom.